Good morning, friends. Today's topic is sources of happiness. We all seek happiness. In fact, every creature seeks happiness. Now, what is the real source of happiness? That's the thing. And there are various kinds of happiness. Some are fleeting happiness, they come and go. And we are not satisfied with that. We want permanent happiness, which always remains with us. No one can take away that sort of happiness. Whole of the spiritual life is seeking happiness. Scriptures say the purpose of scripture, purpose of spiritual life is dukkha nivritti paramananda prapti. Cessation of miseries, all miseries, afflictions, sorrows, suffering, and gaining of happiness, joy. What type of happiness? Not only ananda but paramananda, supreme bliss, supreme happiness, permanent happiness, never separating happiness. That is the purpose of a spiritual life that with scriptures proclaim. Spiritual teachers come and say, you do this and you will be free from miseries. You will be happy. To be happy, you will have to do this, follow me, follow my teachings and you will be happy. If you see internet, there is a beautiful article by Lucia Ginda, and she enumerates 54 sources of happiness. You have to do 54 things to become happy. And all are very practical. And those will, some important of those are, say, freedom. Feel free to think and do whatever you like. Don't be bound. Don't be subordinate. Be of a free personality. So that is one sign of happiness comes from freedom. What you want to do, you do. But your freedom should not be curtailing others' freedom. One person was walking on the beach and he was in a happy mood. He was twirling his umbrella. He had an umbrella in the hand and he was twirling and swirling his umbrella around. Another person was walking behind him and said, "Excuse me, we may hit others." Then that person says, "I am a free person. I can do it here and like you, it's my freedom." The gentleman behind said, "Your freedom ends where my nose starts. You can swirl your umbrella only when I am not there, when you are not in danger of hitting someone else. So freedom should be there not to curtail others' freedom. That we have to remember." Another point she says is be natural. Don't wear a mask. You don't have to pretend something else other than you are. That pretending to be something else than what you naturally are is a great cause of tension and worry. If you are naturally, you present yourself as you are, there brings peace. And peace is the condition of happiness. We read in the Gita. I'm going to talk to you. Precursor of happiness is peace. The scriptures say, the Bhagavad Gita says. Respect yourself. Often we have no good idea about ourselves, no self-esteem. How can happiness come without that? Respect yourself. When you are able to respect yourself, then only you will be respecting others. If you don't respect yourself, you will not respect with other person. You may show respect, you may do flattering, but you will really not respect another human being. Because there is no respect has grown in you. First respect yourself, then respect for others will come. See goodness in you and in others. Respect will come and you are able to understand this good point I have. I don't steal. I am not a very, very greedy, extremely greedy person. I am not a very possessive person. I control my anger. I seek spiritual joy. I don't give trouble to others unnecessarily or even necessarily also. I don't want to give trouble to others. I really don't I hate anyone and everyone. While driving the car, I don't have car race, someone does 2 seconds late and I don't honk them. These are the qualities that you all have. So have goodness, feeling good about yourself. That is a source of happiness. and try to see goodness in others. There are so many good things in everyone, in everything. We often think only defects in others, and that robs away our peace and happiness from us. When we try to see goodness in others, positive thing in others, then the peace automatically comes, happiness comes, love comes. We'll study at the end our Holy Mother's teaching about that. What makes us unhappy? What is the cause of happiness and peace? The Lucia Vinda says, another point is, smile, laugh, be happy. If just sometimes this artificial smiling also brings that natural smile in you. There have been laughing clubs in India. Somewhere now they have opened here also. Just what they do in the laughing club, they go and start laughing. I ask someone, do they say jokes or something? They laugh? No. Just they laugh, artificially they start laughing, and there were a group of people and other person also start laughing. So this laughing catches, and it was artificial laughing in the beginning, then it becomes natural laughing. It comes spontaneously. And when they go after a few minutes, they return back home, they are more peaceful, happy, just inducing this laughter that is hidden in us. Laughter, smile, joy, happiness is in us. We need to bring that out. And this artificial simulation of laughter and smile also makes us happy. That is also a source of happiness. Try to smile. Always they say, we are a smiling face. They say, why you have to have Pan Am smile? There is one aircraft called Pan Am, and its crew were taught to keep smiling. It's called Pan Am smiling. You don't really feel happy inside, no smile inside, a lot of trouble, but if you smile that. But that also, if you wear a smiling face, other person, though it is almost, it's recognized you are not really sincere and genuine, but with that also the genuineness will come when you have that habit. So smiling, if it comes spontaneously, it's excellent. If it doesn't come, then also you need to show a smiling face. That also is a sign of happiness, because you give happiness to others. When you smile, you are more approachable, you are more affectionate towards others. So that makes a good relation with another. Very nice point Lucia says, the next point I noted is, look at a happy person. Association, holy company, thinking a person who is really happy and meditative. That's where it comes, think of God, think of Sri Ramakrishna. That point, you see how nicely she has dealt. She didn't write the spiritual article, but many spiritual points have come in that. Sri Ramakrishna is such a personality that Holy Mother said, I never saw him miserable. I saw him always happy and joyful. Even when he was sick, he was happy. And the expression they gave is, it's like a fruit which just breaks with inner pressure of inner seeds. It's called fruity. So fruity breaks with inner pressure, and that seeds come out. That type of joy was in Sri Ramakrishna, which used to come, the inner joy used to come out through his face and his speech. And he used to make jokes with his youngsters. They used to roll and on the ground in laughter. There used to be so much of joy in Sri Ramakrishna's presence. It was not just dry, remember God, now you meditate, now you close your nose, you shut your eyes, not like that. It was a fun-filled feeling with him. People were attracted not to hear jokes, no doubt. There was that attraction of spiritual power was there. It's called Yoga Maya. That attraction is there of God incarnate. But people were never dry in his presence. There was a lot of fun, and he was never seen miserable. So when you think of such a personality, it's all with all great spiritual leaders it happened. Swami Vivekananda used to be so happy, people haven't criticized. Swamiji, you were a monk and you were so much laughing and making jokes, and Swami Vivekananda said that is the first sign of spirituality. Cheerfulness is the first sign of spirituality. The long face I have, I also have long face, but when I have stomach pain, then I have a terrible face. And he used to say, if you are not happy, you are having the long face, don't go out in the society. You have no right to show your long and unhappy and miserable face to other person and induce that unhappiness in others. Induce happiness, be joyful yourself and give that joy to others. Happiness is it's also infectious, like any other thing, like disease, like joy. like unhappiness. You see a gloomy face of a person, you automatically become gloomy. If someone is very sad, you see that person, you cannot just smile and make joy, make fun with that person. He is in terrible trouble. And Swami Vivekananda said, if you are in trouble, don't show your ugly, unhappy, miserable face to the society. Let the society remain happy. Do your best. When you work, do your best. Yoga karma sukhaushalam. Doing best dexterity in work is yoga. That can be done with a philosophical background without attachment. But even trying to do our duty in the best possible manner makes us happy. If we are a teacher, if you take a class, if you give a class which is, you did fantastic, you feel so happy in your mind. If you are a student, you study very sincerely and try to solve the problems of math. And if it is solved, you feel so happy. You can't compare that happiness with anything else. Basic happiness, you see, you feel the happiness is in bread, clothes and shelter. You go to the clothing shop, there will be so much crowd. Go on Saturday in the clothing shop. So new varieties of clothes coming, having new clothes. I feel happy. That's the concern of the mind. I want a good shelter, big house, happy, lighted, and I will feel happy. But how long you feel happy in a big house that overlooks a golf ground or a park? How long? You are in a house, whole day you work in the office, come in the evening, in winter time it is already dark, you can't see anything outside. In early morning you go, Saturday, Sunday you are busy shopping. How many waking days you are in the house and see from the window that nice golf ground or a nice park or river flowing? Very little time. Big house doesn't make one happy. For the some time you buy, you possess, then a little happiness is there which gradually diminishes. So, shelter. About food, we often feel food will be really a source of happiness. We feel so happy to have a good, nice, tasty and food that we like. But how long? If there is happiness, if food is source of happiness, when we have eaten a nice food and we ate more than what we eat because it was so tasty and it was so much to my liking. But after that, another plate comes, exactly the same food. Will you like that? Are you happy to see that? No. So your happiness is gone. Food has done its work. If food was source of happiness, whenever you get that food, you should feel happy. You just want, mother, I don't want, mommy, I'm full. You will say, your child will say, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. I don't want more pizza. I'm full. Pizzas will not make their son happy or daughter happy when his or her stomach is full. So, little happiness it gives. And how long that happiness? There is a sweet meat called rasagulla in India. This is very sweet, the cottage cheese ball soaked in sugar syrup. So, you see very nice white round, spongy, so sweet meat soaked in sugar syrup, and people see, so nice. They eat, so nice. Sri Ramakrishna says, how much that rasagulla can give you happiness? You eat in the mouth, when it goes inside the throat, you don't remember. Gone, your happiness gone with that. So it's so momentary happiness you get with the food. Food cannot be the source of happiness. The house cannot be the source of happiness. A nice new car cannot be the source of happiness. Permanent happiness. It can be a source of happiness, very temporary until you get it. Even the analyzer psychologists will say, the joy in getting a new car, if you dream for 5 years, is not in car itself. The happiness came by cessation of your desire to have a new, brand new car of your desire. So happiness comes by cessation of desires, not by having the car. Because that desire crept in your mind, and by getting the car, buying the car, that moment your desire is gone. That desire is gone. And as the desire was not there, you feel so peaceful and happy. The reason for happiness is not the car, not the house, not nice food, but desire that was there, and that desire is gone, completed. You got it, you achieved it. So if you don't have desire, you don't have to have brand new sports car. You are happy with your Honda Civic. You don't have to have new car. Simple Toyota Corolla is very nice for you. It does the purpose. Another point he says is meet the friends. This is very spiritual quality. We'll come to the teaching. Meet the friends. Talk about them. Be of service to them. Inquire about them. If you have not met them for a long time, call them. And you will feel happy. How do you feel happy? Because you make that person happy. You make other person happy. Real happiness can come only when you can make other happy. Nice fruit you got, mango. There are two types of persons Sri Ramakrishna used to say. Some are there who ate the mango, and it was so tasty that they all ate the mango and finally wiped them out very nicely with a napkin and came out to meet his friends. He doesn't want to share. He doesn't want to share the tasty mango with anyone else. And there are others who tasted one slice of the mango. It was so sweet, so tasty, brings whole plate outside and with the friends, whoever were there in the house, say it's so tasty, just try it. Who will get more happiness? Who shares this joy, this happiness with others? Happiness increases by sharing with others. It is never, a selfish man can never be that happy in life. Listen to the personal stories of your friends. Give time. Be patient. Give them joy. Lead a regular and routine life. That is another very important part. Regular, routine life gives us peace in our daily behavior. We are not disturbed. Oh, I couldn't get up in the morning to do my spiritual practice. Oh, I was late to do my physical exercise today. So these things really disturb us. One peace comes when we do what we want to do in a regular way, routine way. Help someone whom you do not know. However way you can help another person, that is a source of happiness. Again, making others happy, removing others' afflictions, other troubles, seva, the service. Volunteer in a place. Just do for something. In volunteering, you don't get any name, fame. You are not recognized. The people who receive the thing even doesn't know who did this thing. People come to hear a soup kitchen. You see, they come every week and they prepare for 2 or 3 hours, whole day is gone in that. And the food is taken to someone else, where it is served by someone other person. So the person who eats food, who may be tasty, doesn't know who cooked it. But nevertheless, this person who cooked here, prepared the food, this group of people will feel very happy. There was once we had problem with the soup kitchen, whether we can continue or not. The place to distribute soup was not there. And you know, the people who used to cook, they said, Swamiji, but we will still come. We must find somewhere we should give. So they didn't want to give up that volunteering to prepare the soup. There is so much of joy in serving selflessly, without any recognition, without anything considering in return. Reading books is another source of happiness. What type of books? Good books, good literature, scriptures, nice conversation with holy persons. Those all are a source of great happiness. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Bible, Quran, Janda Avesta, whatever you read, if you can understand, it will be a source of happiness. Read the commentaries. When you go little start that first, you may not understand, but you go deeper, then you will start the commentary, explanation. You go to a person who understands that, and then comes real happiness from reading the books. If they are scriptures, difficult terse. But if they are conversational books with some holy person, like conversation with Ramana Maharshi, conversation with our Swami Shivananda, conversation of Sri Ramakrishna, talks with Swami Vivekananda, all those are so wonderful books that you read and you feel really, I feel so joyful with that. Any good book reading, any good literature reading, that will give joy. Another source of happiness is communicate with a new person. Those who are very self-centered, for them it is difficult to approach and to a new person. To be able to say when people are taking photographs, do you want to be taken by me? That also needs to communicate with others. That also gives you a joy. You are going somewhere, taking a photograph in a group. The son is taking a photograph for mother and sister and father, and all four cannot come together. Another person comes and says, can I take a photograph? So that service, this is communicating, this is coming together. Not known person in a tourist spot, but he comes and takes photograph. That itself gives a joy, whether you say him or her thank you or not, doesn't matter. That itself, the service to others. So this trying to communicate to the new person, I have seen in our society itself, when there are some new visitors, some of you are very, very good in communicating to the new person. They approach, what is your name, where are you? And I have always found those persons are very happy. I have studied, those persons are very peaceful and happy who try to communicate with the new person. Not approaching, oh, I don't know that person. Why should I go without introducing? Some British system was there. They used to say that when two persons are sitting in a train or going somewhere, they will not talk at all unless third person introduces them together. So that type of thing won't make you happy. So communicating with a new person is a good skill and it gives you joy. It's about love, loving another person. Remember happy times. There are moments in our life when we are happy, when we do something good, when we could make, what is the happiest moment? The moment when we make others happy. Remember those moments. In Ishopanishad it is said, when a person is dying, it says, when you are dying, remember what good you have done, what nice thing you have done in your life. Remember that. When is the time for final exit from this life, what we should take with us. Nice, happy things. In Buddhist tradition also, when some Buddhist used to come, a person is dying, a devotee is dying, a man is dying, they used to encourage him to think, what good you did. If they know his life, they will remind him, oh, you know that you did this thing in your life when you were young and happy. Then that person remembers. If the last moment is happy moment, we believe the next life will be happy, a person will be born. And it's so nice if you don't believe in reincarnation and rebirth. It's so nice to exit this world, go this world with happy moments. So remembering happy things, happy times is also a source of happiness. You don't have to wait the moment when we die. We can remember in this time also, I did that thing good. For that thing to remember, of course, you have to have a lot of happy moments in this life. And happy moments, to gather increase the number of happy moments, we have to do the thing that will give you happiness. And happiness comes from giving happiness to others. Exercise, walk, these are simple sources of happiness. You do yoga and you feel so happy, your body is fit, you have done something nice, you feel, we hear every alternate Sunday we do yoga exercise, people come and they feel so happy to after that. You straight, you do breathing, you do as per instruction, and that is definitely a source of happiness, a small happiness, shortly, but you need to do again and again. Be happy being here and not there. Satisfaction. I am very happy to be here. One Pandit had brought one friend, and he went to listen to a story like this, conversation of the Bhagavad, the scriptures I was explaining. And his friend was not religious. He went to some other place, which was not a very good place. He went there. The person who came to listen to the scripture, his mind was not there at all. He was always thinking, oh, my friend is having such a fun time, and I am here listening to the blabla of this person, this scholar. And what is this Bhagavata, whether Krishna was born or not, I don't know. But I am listening that, and my friend is having such a nice time. And the story goes that when he died, though he was listening to the Bhagavata, good scriptures, talk about God, but he went to hell. Because his mind was in something wrong place. His mind was not in Bhagavata. Wherever you are, your mind is, there you are. We are basically the mind. Body you can have anywhere. Wherever your mind is, there you are. So be happy where you are. So that is putting the concentration and be satisfaction. Whatever position you have, you can be very satisfied with your car, with your house, with your clothes, with your relatives, with your friends. You can be very satisfied. I have very good friends. It depends on how we look on the qualities of our friends and relatives. If you go on seeing the negatives, you'll say, oh, this is not good, that friend has this problem. All problems will be seen. So we have to train our eyes and mind, inner mind's eye to look to the person, how that person is. If you search goodness, plenty of goodness from every person will come. Love and let others love you. That is very important in the spiritual life. Loving all. And final 54th point, Lucia writes is, you are the source of your own happiness. Happiness is within you. Happiness is not something in food or house or anything else, it is within you. Now let us see what our scriptures say about happiness. Bhagavad Gita says there are three kinds of happiness. One happiness is that comes from sleep. I'm tired and I feel sleepy. Sleep, laziness, inadvertence, those also bring happiness. I'm lazy, I don't want to work, I'm just sitting on the couch, seeing the TV. That's also half seeing, not even really seeing. You are tired and you don't enjoy what is going on there. So mind is not there at all. Mind has become dull. And you feel, oh, I'm relaxing, I'm very happy. That kind of happiness is called tamasika happiness, third grade happiness. What is the second grade happiness? Second grade happiness is that is born of the contact of sense organs and their objects. That is the sense pleasure. You want to eat something, you eat and you feel happy. That is second grade happiness. It is not the ultimate happiness. Why it is second grade happiness? Because this is binding. It binds you with the objects. You are not free. You are not free. You lose your freedom. And the thing seems to be nectar-like in the beginning, and at the final end it is poison. You eat up eating more and have, oh, so much I had stomach problem, we have indigestion. You were very happy to eat, it was so tasty food. At the beginning it looked like nectar, I was enjoying so much. And what is the result? Pariname vishamiva. Vishayendriya samyoga yattad agre amritopamam. Agre amritopamam. At the beginning, agra. It's like amrita, like nectar. Oh, if I could get this, if I have this, if I possess this, everything seems to be like the only source of happiness. But pariname vishamiva. Visha is poison. At the end it is like poison. So that type of happiness, sense pleasure, is called rajasika shukham. Second grade happiness. There's also happiness, but second grade. What is the highest happiness? Happiness that is arising from the purity of one's intellect or from the knowledge of the self. That is the real happiness. If your mind is pure, yattadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam. In the beginning it's very difficult. You don't find any joy. That happens in repeating God's name. That happens when you try to meditate. So difficult, mind doesn't settle. What is that joy in meditating? I tried and sat for 15 minutes and mind was restless, and people say if you meditate there is so much of joy. There is no joy at all. It's so poisonous, it's so difficult to sit in a place for 15 minutes. The great Visham, it's like poison, it's so restless. But pariname amritopamam. Endure that, persevere in that, and you will finally have your mind settled, and you will find there is nothing joyful than having a good meditation. Really, there is nothing joyful other than good meditation. It is extremely joy. Swami Vivekananda was searching the bliss. Sri Ramakrishna said, what do you want? Swamiji said, I want Kripamayananda, supreme bliss. I want to be immersed in meditation for days together. And now and then, I want to get a little outer consciousness so that I eat something, body remains, mind remains active, and then I again dive deep into meditation without having any knowledge of this world or my body, dive deep into meditation. That is the sattvika ananda. That is the highest grade ananda. But that's what the meditation gives you, great joy. So this is called sattvika ananda. Sri Ramakrishna said, that no doubt is a great bliss. What the scriptures speak of, but that is not for you, O Narendranath. You have to bear many hardships in life. You have to become like a huge banyan tree and give shade to the travelers who are scorched in the sun. Take the sun's rays on your own body, but give shade to others. That's what you are meant for. And that is a great happiness, those who can understand. Suffering yourself, giving joy to others. To be able to give joy to others, you are able to take suffering on yourself. But we have to prepare for that. And that is, of course, a greater happiness. There is no doubt about it. And Sri Ramakrishna wanted to prepare his most beloved disciple, up to that level of happiness, when he can remove the suffering of others, when he gives joy to others who are really seem to be hopeless, and that joy, how much joy Swami Vivekananda would have attained that. He has not written that, but his poems, his writings, his talks, all speak of so much of wisdom, so much of peace. When we read, we find peace. What a peace and joyful that mind would be from whom these words of Vivekananda has come. The poems, the talks, the lectures, the articles, whose mind has given this thing which when we read after so many years, just to the printed form, then we feel, oh, it's so nice, so peaceful. What the peace of that person would be. And that peace came from sacrificing his own samadhi for the joy of others. He had that capability. He could just shut himself in a cave and meditate for his whole life, whatever life he had. Go into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Swami Vivekananda said, I tried that, but someone pulled me from out of cave. Someone pulled me from the cave, from the meditation. Who was that someone? See, he said, Mother, Divine Will, we will say Sri Ramakrishna. He brought him for some purpose, just not for himself. He came from all of us. So that is, when we live for others, that is the greatest happiness. Bhagavad Gita says that to have the happiness, you must have peace. Without peace, there is no happiness. Ashantasya kuta sukham. One who is restless, where is joy, where is happiness for him? And to have the peace, you should have the faculty to meditate. Nacha abhavayata shanti. One who cannot meditate, who cannot concentrate, where is peace for him? When your mind is not under your control, how can you have peace? It is always restless, flickering, going from this place to another. It's not under your control. And mind is the instrument for peace and happiness. And it is not under your control. This time it is in a happy moment, another time in a sad moment, and it goes and often is attracted by difficult and sad situations. And goes on brooding on that. You want to bring it back from what another person said to you. You can't bring it. Go to bed and again you say, oh, that person was so rude to me. You don't want to think, that's gone, that person was rude, he must have been some problems. But you can't bring your mind to happiness and peace. So uncontrolled, unmeditative mind, it is abhavana. There is no concentration on the mind. And when meditation doesn't happen, you are ayukta. Ayukta is when there is no steadiness. The concentration is not there. There is no wisdom. Ayukta. Na asti buddhi ayuktasya. And when you are ayukta, there is no wisdom for that person. For the unsteady, the one who does not have a concentrated mind, there is no wisdom. So, concentration, wisdom, meditation, peace and happiness. These are the consequences. But how to have concentration? How to have the concentration? In another place, Gita says, in the same verse, it says, Prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhi parevatistate. A person of a serene mind has firmly established wisdom. Wisdom comes with serenity of the mind. And how the serenity comes? You see, it is right here. And serenity comes. And with the serenity, when you have serene mind, prasade sarva dukkhana bhani. All your miseries will go with serene mind. But how the serenity of the mind will come, that is the problem. What we need to do for the serenity of the mind. The verse says, self-controlled man attains serenity, control of the self. Freedom from attraction and repulsion while senses come in contact with the objects lead to self-control. So when our sense organs come in touch with sense objects, we should be free from attachment and aversion, attraction and repulsion. That will lead to self-control. Self-control will lead to concentration of the mind, and concentration of the mind will lead to wisdom, that is yukta buddhi, wisdom that is in contact with the real self, and that yukta buddhi will bring serenity of the mind. And serenity will bring prasade sarva dukkhana bhani. All these miseries will be gone by when mind is serene. Now, how to have the serenity of the mind? So the thing comes like freedom from attachment and aversion to the objects. So that automatically attracts us. We try to possess that. We are bound to the object. So we need to practice something so that we are not attached to the things of the world. Without that, there is nothing we can do. So neither attracted nor hateful to the objects. Just to move there without any attachment to that. Padma patra vivambasa, like a water in a leaf petal. So it is there. But when you put it, all is gone, nothing is sticking. So you move among the senses, sense objects, but you are not attached. You are not distracted, you are not hateful. That is the cause itself. So when you are free from attachment and aversion, then comes self-control, which brings serenity. And from serenity comes cessation of all sufferings. That we understand. So the happiness comes from peace, we understand. Peace comes from meditation. Meditation comes from steady wisdom. Steady wisdom comes from concentration of the mind. Concentration of the mind comes from self-control, control of the senses. And self-control comes from freedom from attraction and repulsion. Freedom from attraction and repulsion to the sense objects comes from satisfaction on what you have. You know to understand between what you need and what you want. Need, of course we need. We cannot say, I don't need a house, I don't need a car, I don't need clothes, I don't need food. We can't say that. We need those. But what you need and what you just want. So we need to have a distinction between that. Satisfaction will come from mind set on higher goals. When you have higher things you desire, your mind is not on the gaining and possessing the things, the smaller things of the world, then you have satisfaction on things what you have. You don't bother about what you do not have. You go to another house, you see, oh, their sofa is so nice. If I could have that sofa, doesn't come. You are happy with what you have, satisfied. I don't need that. I am satisfied with that. Oh, it looks nice, but it looks nice in his house. I am satisfied with my house and my possession. I don't need anything more now. And that mind set on higher goals. What are higher goals? Goal of service. You want to make others happy. You want to serve others. That mind will be set on higher goals if you practice devotion. I want to love God more. We have to practice for that. Prayatena siddhyantam. Without practice it doesn't come. Or you practice selfless service. You just work for the good of others. Or you practice inquiry into the reality. What is truth? What is reality? What is ever enduring? Life seems to be so fleeting. I was just 5 years, 6 years old. I remember the days. Now I am 20, 25, 60, 80. Gone. Life gone. Everything fleeting. What is reality? Then this inquiry into reality. Or gaining the love for God. Or doing the selfless service. When we do this, practice these things, then mind is set on higher goals, which will give us satisfaction on what we have. That will give us freedom from repulsion and attraction of the sense objects, will give us self-control of our mind, which is not deviated by the things that we come in contact with our senses, give us steady wisdom. We have to start understanding the real purpose of the things. Then steady wisdom, when the wisdom is already steady, then you put it on meditation, you say, my mind now, you have to meditate for 15 minutes. Today's vigil in 1 month, and I want to just put my mind on my Ishta or on the thought I want to do. So mind says, okay, when you say I have to find, because mind has become steady. Whatever you order the mind starts obeying you. Fantastic meditation. People say, how did you like? Oh, it was very nice, Swami. Even we know that how the mind is flickering. Even the attempt to meditate makes one peaceful. What will happen if you have real meditation? The meditation will give peace, and peace will give happiness. This is the formula of Bhagavad Gita, that you should begin from having the higher goal and pursuing your mind in some spiritual goals. Now, the Holy Mother's teaching contains all that we discussed, the source of happiness. All she contains that small teaching, that very famous quote, which is said as the last message of Holy Mother. She said, if you want peace of mind, who will not want peace of mind? Peace of mind is precursor of happiness. Who will not want? This is very intrinsic in us. Why it is intrinsic in us? Why don't we want the suffering? Because by nature we are joyful, we are happy. That's our innate nature. That's why we seek again that. Why we want to live longer? Because we are immortal by nature. We don't die. That's why whenever the thought of death comes, we feel so awkward. We feel uneasy. We don't want to die. We pray, take us from death to immortality. Why do we say that? It was nice to die. No. Immortality is our very inner nature, very reality, true, real nature. That's why we don't want to die. That's why we don't want to be happy, peaceful, blissful. So, because it's our nature. If you want peace of mind, Mother said, do not find fault with others. So, do not make think other person is small. Don't see his or her negative points. Try to see his good points or her good points. When we start seeing defects with others, it bring a gap of hatred, animosity, that thing comes. When you don't find fault with others, love comes. For example, the thing happened that I was explaining yesterday, that someone comes who is dear to me and he does some mischief. So I don't mind that. But someone comes with whom I do not know, I do not like, he does the same thing, she does the same thing, I become terribly upset with that. Because I do not love that person. Love has not come. So when we do not find fault, means there has to be a degree of love between us. Without love, there is every chance that we will see defects only in others. Love just smooths angularities in our own eyes, mind's eye, and it makes other person also smooth and appreciable. Any other person. What else you see? How we should see the positive things. Suppose we come to a place and suddenly go in a room where there was a basin and we start washing our hands. Someone says, no, don't wash hands here. These are not meant to wash hands. This is meant to wash fruits for offering. If you do not practice not finding faults, you will be very upset. How rude that person was. How did she react? How did he react to this person? He could have said it different. You will find fault with that person and you won't find any of your faults. Because you have not practiced not finding fault. Love has not grown, appreciation has not grown, seeing the good point in other person has not grown. There might be some meaning. Yes, and you might be devotee. You might be be the devotee of same Lord, where the fruits for Lord is washed and you do not wash your hands. But you suddenly got hurt and you react terribly with that saying of that person. Because we have not practiced not finding fault with others. When we have practice of not finding fault with others, then what we do? So yeah, he is right. He is right. Though he might be rude or he might have said in such a way, but how sincere is that person? You see, we all start seeing the good points in other person. Sincerity, their dedication to the work, you all see these when you don't find fault with others, when you have little respect and love for others. Otherwise you will see all defects, rudeness, this is too much egotistic and all. It depends on our eyes and what you see, that you react. If you find faults, you will lose peace, you will lose happiness, you will be at a loss. That person will not be at a loss. You will be at a loss. Trying to see the positive thing in others, trying to justify the thing, trying to find the problem of others. Suppose you are going in a car and someone, you were just it became green and you were a little distracted for a few seconds and the person behind honks you. Now you have two options. You can become very angry, oh he cannot wait or she cannot wait for even 2 seconds, just now it became green. What is this? And you can just lower down your glass and the window and then you say, can you help behind? That is one option. Another option is, yes, that person must be in a hurry. Why should I be late? I was wrong to be distracted during this time. Everyone wants to go to office or go to home during this time. So you find your own faults. And you don't find the fault of that person who was honking you, who was just putting your mind into he was alerting you. And when you find your own fault, you are pleased with that person. Holy Mother said, don't find fault with others, find your own faults. Always, I go to wash hands there. It was my mistake that without asking, why did I go to wash my hands in that basin? It was my fault. You are at peace. That's why the mother says, find fault, there are faults, but find your own faults. When you have no fault in your own self, then you will not find fault with others also. Love will come. You have a lot of faults and that will project outside. That's the problem. Swami Vivekananda says, a boy doesn't see a thief because he has no thief in his mind. We all have thief in our mind and we see thief outside also. If someone comes for help, first thing is, why did he enter inside? What was his purpose? Like that it happened. One person came to drink water in the afternoon in upstairs. And some persons were sitting, those who will have doubting, why did he come? Did he come to steal something? And he might be thirsty really and came into the ashram temple open for all. And what is there? What is there to doubt that person that he came without seeing that whether it was open or not? Why did he come from the back door at 7 o'clock in the afternoon when it's closed? Doubting, why did he come? You start finding fault with that person. Not trying to understand the reality. He was thirsty, that's why he came into the temple, which you have put outside the notice, all are welcome. What is harm in that? So that way, when you start finding fault with others, you lose peace. Holy Mother says, learn to make the whole world your own. Whole world without exception is your own, like your child, like your relative, like your daughter and sons, brothers and sisters. That is, learn to make the whole world your own, without any discrimination of any language, ethnicity, bar, religion, nothing. Some people are there, oh, he doesn't belong to our religion. Oh, then hatred comes. Naturally, oh, what will happen to me? You find something, different thing like Shikha, that pig's tail on his back. Oh, what type of person he is? In America, you see, Swami Vivekananda came with turban and saffron clothes wearing. People started pulling his turban. Why? Because they could not tolerate, they could not think that person their own. And Swami Vivekananda explains nicely, that person must be kind and a nice person, very sophisticated person. But his kindness and love was limited to the people who wear his own type of clothes, who look like him, have the same skin color, and spoke same language. Swami Vivekananda turned to that person and said, what are you doing? That person, oh, you speak English? And just whatever. Speaking English became him friendly. He was not disturbed anymore. He just wanted that person doesn't know English, he thought. The people's love, this feeling oneness is confined to the people of your own community. That is not what Holy Mother says. Learn to make the whole world your own. Why do you have to learn? No one is a stranger. In reality, everyone is your own. That's why when you feel own, then the attitude for service comes. Then you find joy in preparing soup for the soup kitchen people whom you deliver, because they are my people who are hungry, who are homeless. They are my people. This love grows in your heart, and with the love comes joy. The world is your own. You have to learn it to make your own, because it is your own and you have not understood. No one is a stranger, my child. The world is your own. And when you have this feeling of oneness with everyone, that everyone is mine. Whatever dress he wears, whatever religion he does, whatever food he eats, wherever in the world that person lives, Africa, Asia, South America, wherever he lives or she lives, that is my own people. The whole humanity is one. This feeling of oneness gives real peace and joy. And Holy Mother's final thing, purpose of life is fulfilled when you can give joy to others. Happiness comes only when you can give happiness to others. To give that happiness, you will have to feel oneness with others and try to share your joy. They say, read something and have some experience, you try to share that. Some devotees are here and they say, oh Swami, I read that article in the magazine and it was such an article. Sometimes you become impatient. Then again you have to listen. But that is a source of happiness, you see. When you listen patiently, that person speaks about something that person has read or heard, something nice. It has to be on the positive side, not the negative. Negative always takes you back. When the hatred comes, refuse to listen to those things. Condemning, complaining, criticizing other person. Refuse to listen to that. But don't hurt anyone, not even to that person with criticizing. Find out a way. Holy Mother said, do not find fault with others. there was a beautiful painting made. Everyone praised that painting. There was one of her attendants, she was asked, how do you like this painting? She said, oh, this painting, there is no proportion of head and hand, there is all this man. What is this painting? It's not nicely done. She was the one who complained that. Now, what Holy Mother will do? She cannot find fault with anyone. So when she was asked, what did that attendant Golapma said? She said, oh, Golapma is so knowledgeable. She knows a lot about paintings that we do not know. She doesn't complain that she doesn't see good anything. She says, oh, she knows so much about the painting. She could analyze and say that what is proportion and all that. I all like, but she had so much knowledge of this thing, aesthetic sense of knowledge. She had her own view on that. She didn't find fault with Golapma also. So like that it happens, we don't find fault with anyone. And when that comes, we have to have a situation, you have to have some trick, either change the conversation to something positive. If that person is very much disturbed by some third person, try to bring fourth person whom she or he likes, and divert the conversation to something good, something positive, something loving, away from hatred, away from criticism. And then the peace generates, then happiness generates. When you both have come, feel happy. When I decide to you about something, about some person, maybe real, there's some problems, some negative thing. If I say, when we finish conversation of 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I come out, all that, my mind is filled with that. And I make your mind also filled with that. That New York taxi driver joke that came in Global Vedanta. One taxi driver was coming with a passenger, and another car came from the parking lot. Suddenly it came, and they were just going to start, and the taxi just crashed to halt. Then the car driver who came from the parking lot looked back and started yelling on the taxi driver. What is this? You don't know how to drive. They say there have been accident, just a few, just hair's breadth we are saved, and all that he yelled on that taxi driver. But taxi driver didn't say anything, just smiled and waved, and that person went away. The car owner went away. The passenger asked, why you didn't speak anything? He was all yelling to you, it was not your fault, it was his fault, he didn't see. And he was just blaming you. Then taxi driver says, you know what? People come with the garbage bag on their back. And that garbage bag, they want to dump on anyone whom they meet first. So this anger, hatred, frustration, all they have that. They want to dump on you. If you react to these things, you have accepted that garbage dump on yourself. Don't accept that. Don't be affected by those people who are really having difficulties in life. Try to understand their frustration, all that. And be happy and peaceful yourself. So don't ever accept those things. It always makes your mind polluted when you listen to something ill about others. So always say good, always positive, always loving everyone. That makes us very happy. The source of happiness in us, and source of happiness will be revealed and manifested when we try to give happiness to others and love everyone as our own self.